The air shimmers, then crackles with an impossible energy. Around her, people dissolve, not in a scream or a burst of blood, but in a silent, horrifying cascade of dust. A woman pushing a stroller watches in terror as the child in front of her vanishes. A pile of clothes hitting the ground where a moment before there was a vibrant life. A driver swerves, his car now empty, careening into a lamppost. On a rooftop, a hero watches his friend, a tree-like being, crumble into golden motes that drift away on the wind. The silence that follows is deafening, punctuated only by distant crashes and the mournful wail of abandoned car alarms. Panic ripples through the survivors, their faces etched with incomprehension and pure, unadulterated dread. The world has irrevocably changed in an instant, its population halved by an unseen, devastating force, leaving behind only echoes and a profound, chilling emptiness. On a desolate, alien moon, a small group of warriors stands stunned. A giant green rage monster watches his companion. A young spider-themed hero plead for help as he disintegrates in his arms. His last words a choked, "I don't feel so good." A master of mystic arts tells the metal-suited genius that this is the only way, before his own form dissolves into glittering particles. The leader of the Guardians, a sarcastic, human-like alien, crumbles as his friends look on in horror. The metal-suited genius, battered and bruised, stares at the empty space where his allies once stood, a cold dread seeping into his bones. His mentor, a powerful alien warrior, tells him the fight is over. They lost. The realization dawns. The Titan who caused this devastation has won. The universe has been irrevocably altered, and they are stranded, the last vestiges of a failed defense. Back on Earth, the immediate aftermath is a landscape of grief and bewildered survival. A super soldier, once a beacon of hope, now leads a support group for those who lost loved ones. He listens, his face grim, as a woman recounts the loss of her entire family. The streets are eerily quiet, businesses shuttered, parks empty. Signs for missing persons, once a desperate plea, now feel like relics of a bygone era, too numerous to count. The remaining heroes gather, their once vibrant headquarters now a somber shell. The air is thick with unspoken loss, the weight of a world decimated. They are fewer, weaker, and utterly heartbroken. The bright, hopeful colors of their past are replaced by muted tones of mourning, a constant reminder of the unspeakable tragedy that has befallen them and everything they swore to protect. The silence is the loudest sound of all. 5 years have crawled by, marked by a pervasive, lingering sadness. Cities are quieter, overgrown in places, monuments to a lost population. The world is a ghost of its former self. The remaining heroes live in their own pockets of grief. The metal-suited genius, having miraculously returned to Earth, now lives a quiet life with his partner and young daughter, haunted by the past but clinging to the present. The green rage monster, once a destructive force, has merged his two identities, now a thoughtful, albeit still massive, intellect. The archer, consumed by his own losses, has become a vigilante, brutally dispensing justice to those he deems undeserving of survival. Life goes on, but it's a shadow of what it was, a constant, dull ache that settles deep in the bones of humanity. Hope feels like a forgotten dream, a whisper from a distant past. Suddenly, a flicker of something impossible. At a storage facility, a rat inadvertently activates a console, and a dilapidated quantum tunnel whirs to life. From its depths, a figure emerges, bewildered and disoriented. He is the shrinking hero, presumed lost 5 years ago in the quantum realm. For him, only 5 hours have passed. He stares at the desolate landscape, the missing posters, the changed world, utterly confused. He rushes to the headquarters of the remaining heroes, his story a wild, improbable tale of time distortion. His arrival sparks a tiny, fragile ember of an idea in the minds of the desperate survivors. If he can travel through time, perhaps they can too. Perhaps, just perhaps, they can undo the irreversible, bring back what was lost, and reverse the unimaginable devastation that has plagued their world for half a decade. The shrinking hero's improbable survival ignites a desperate hope. He explains his experience in the quantum realm, the strange passage of time, to the assembled heroes. The now intellectual green rage monster, intrigued, listens intently. He postulates that the quantum realm could indeed offer a pathway to manipulate time, a chance to travel to the past and retrieve the vanished Infinity Stones before the Titan could acquire them. The idea is audacious, dangerous, and carries the immense risk of unforeseen consequences. But with nothing left to lose, the heroes grasp onto this sliver of possibility. They begin to brainstorm, to plan, to research the impossible. The despair that has suffocated them for 5 years begins to lift, replaced by a fragile, terrifying glimmer of purpose. They might have a chance, however slim, to rewrite history and bring back their lost loved ones. As the plan takes shape, the remaining heroes realize they need more than just courage. They need specialized knowledge and technology. They recruit a skilled engineer and pilot, a wisecracking, genetically modified raccoon, who arrived on Earth with the Titan's adopted daughter. This unlikely duo, survivors of the devastation, join the cause, bringing their unique skills and bitter experiences to the burgeoning team. The raccoon, despite his gruff exterior, carries the deep pain of losing his entire family. The adopted daughter of the Titan, a warrior herself, is driven by a desire for vengeance against her adoptive father. Their presence solidifies the desperate alliance, adding critical expertise to the formidable challenge ahead. The team, though small and scarred, begins to coalesce around a shared, impossible goal: to undo the past. The team's resources are limited, but the universe is vast. They need to find a powerful, long-lost ally, a cosmic hero capable of interstellar travel and immense power. The raccoon and the Titan's adopted daughter embark on a perilous journey across the galaxy in their search, accompanied by a powerful female warrior who appeared in Earth's darkest hour. Their quest leads them to a distant planet, a tranquil, almost idyllic world where the Titan, having achieved his twisted goal, lives in peaceful retirement. He has destroyed the stones, rendering their plan seemingly impossible. The despair threatens to return, crushing their fragile hope. But a new, fierce determination ignites within them. The Titan must pay for what he has done, even if they cannot reverse it, not yet. The confrontation is inevitable, fueled by years of loss and burning vengeance. On a serene, alien world, the Titan lives a quiet life, cultivating his garden, his gauntlet now scarred and inert. The heroes, having tracked him down, descend upon his humble dwelling. They confront him, demanding to know where the stones are. He reveals, with a chilling calmness, that he used the stones to destroy the stones, believing it would remove the temptation to reverse his work. Fury erupts amongst the heroes. The green rage monster, his newfound intellect giving way to pure anguish, slams the Titan to the ground. The powerful female warrior restrains him, while the Thunder God, consumed by a 5-year-long thirst for revenge, unleashes his full wrath. He decapitates the Titan, ending his life in a brutal, swift strike. The deed is done, but as the Titan's head rolls, a horrifying realization dawns upon them. Killing him changes nothing. The devastation remains, the losses are permanent, and their desperate plan to retrieve the stones is now utterly shattered. 5 years have passed since the snap. The world is a ghost of its former self. Cities are desolate, skyscrapers stand as monuments to a lost era, their windows shattered, their facades crumbling, overtaken by wild vegetation. Nature reclaims what humanity once built, but it's a somber, muted green, not vibrant life. People walk with a perpetual slump, their eyes hollow, their movements slow. There's no laughter, no bustling crowds, just an eerie silence broken by the wind whistling through empty streets. Memorials to the fallen are everywhere. Makeshift shrines adorned with fading photographs and wilting flowers, constant reminders of the unimaginable loss. The remaining population grapples with profound grief, a collective trauma that has reshaped every aspect of existence. Hope is a scarce commodity, nearly extinguished, replaced by a deep-seated weariness and the quiet despair of a world permanently scarred. In what was once Norway, a new settlement has emerged, New Asgard. It's a picturesque fishing village, rebuilt from the ground up, a sanctuary for the remaining Asgardians and other survivors. Small, brightly painted houses, the coastline. Fishing boats bob gently in the harbor, and children play, their laughter a rare, precious sound. Valkyrie has taken on the mantle of leadership, overseeing the community with a quiet strength. But their former king, Thor, is unrecognizable. He's become a recluse, his once muscular frame now soft and rotund, his hair and beard unkempt. He spends his days on a worn couch, surrounded by empty pizza boxes and beer cans, his once bright eyes now dull and distant. He tries to drown his sorrow and guilt in alcohol and video games, haunted by his failure to stop Thanos. Korg and Meek try their best to support him, but even their good-natured efforts can't penetrate his deep depression. The remaining Avengers are scattered, but Natasha Romanoff holds the team together, maintaining a sparse communication network from the dilapidated Avengers compound. She's a central figure, her determination a steady beacon in the encroaching darkness. Steve Rogers, still haunted by the past, leads a support group, trying to help others process their grief while struggling with his own. He keeps a disciplined routine, his physique lean and strong, but his eyes carry the weight of the world. James Rhodes works with the military, trying to bring some semblance of order to the fractured globe. On a holographic conference call, they connect with other survivors across the universe. Okoye from Wakanda, reporting on seismic activity, Nebula and Rocket, still adrift in space, searching for survivors. The calls are mostly fruitless, filled with reports of minimal progress and continued devastation. Each update a fresh stab of despair. They cling to the faint hope of finding something, anything, that could reverse the catastrophe. Suddenly, a series of tremors shakes a suburban storage facility. A dilapidated van, seemingly abandoned for years, sits amidst the dust and cobwebs. Inside, the quantum tunnel device used by Hank Pym crackles to life. With a flash of light and a pop of displaced air, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, tumbles out. He's disoriented, wearing his quantum suit, utterly unaware of the 5 years that have passed in the outside world. To him, only a few hours have elapsed. He stumbles out of the facility into a world he barely recognizes, a world that has moved on without him. The vibrant colors of his memory are replaced by muted tones, the bustling streets by overgrown silence. He sees a memorial to the fallen, his own name among them, and his heart sinks, a cold dread washing over him as he realizes the true extent of the catastrophe. His first priority is to find his daughter. Scott frantically makes his way to his former home. The house is still there, but it's silent, eerie. He spots a picture of his daughter, Cassie, on a memorial wall outside, confirming his worst fears. But then, a moment later, he sees her. She's no longer a child but a teenager, 5 years older, tall and grown. Tears stream down both their faces as they embrace, a bittersweet reunion amidst the widespread devastation. Cassie is alive, a beacon of hope in Scott's shattered world. He learns about the snap, about half of all life vanishing, about the unyielding grief that has consumed the planet. The shock is immense, the pain palpable. He tries to explain his experience in the quantum realm, his confusion about the time discrepancy, but the words feel inadequate to describe the enormity of what has happened to him and to the world. Scott, driven by a flicker of an idea, finds his way to the Avengers compound. He finds Steve and Natasha there, still holding vigil. He tries to explain his theory, using a sandwich and a taco to illustrate the concept of time. He posits that if time works differently in the quantum realm, perhaps it's not linear. What if they could use the quantum realm not just to travel through space but through time? The idea is outlandish, bordering on insane, but the desperation of their situation makes them listen. Steve's stoic face shows a hint of intrigue. Natasha's eyes narrow with cautious hope. This isn't just a desperate plea. It's a scientific possibility, however remote. They have nothing left to lose, no other viable options. This wild concept, born from Scott's unique experience, ignites a spark, a faint glimmer of what they've been missing for so long: hope. Recognizing the sheer impossibility of the endeavor without the mind of Tony Stark, they decide to approach him. They drive to his secluded lakeside cabin, a beautiful, serene home where he lives with pepper pots and their young daughter, Morgan. The house is a sanctuary, a place of peace and domestic bliss, a stark contrast to the desolate world outside. Tony has found a fragile happiness, having retired from heroics to focus on his family. He's hesitant, wary of re-entering a world that has caused him so much pain and taken so much from him. He rebuffs their initial attempts, explaining his contentment and his fear of losing what he has left. He's done with the superhero life. He has a family now, a responsibility to them that outweighs any former obligation to the world. Despite his initial refusal, the idea of reversing the snap gnaws at Tony. He sees a picture of Peter Parker, his mentee, among the missing, and the guilt he carries is a heavy burden. He spends the night meticulously working through Scott's theory, projecting intricate holographic models and running complex algorithms. He determines that Scott's theory, while dangerous, isn't entirely baseless. It's a long shot, a near impossible gamble, but a gamble nonetheless. He realizes the potential to bring back everyone they lost, including Peter. The moral weight of the decision is immense. Can he risk everything he's built, everything he cherishes, for a chance to undo the past? The thought of his daughter, Morgan, growing up in this broken world, knowing he might have had a chance to fix it, is unbearable. He feels the pull of responsibility, the echoes of his past self, the hero. He needs to figure out if this is truly feasible. The next morning, Tony arrives at the compound, his face grim but resolute. He has solved the temporal displacement problem. He explains that they'll need to shrink the heroes to a quantum scale, send them through the quantum realm to specific points in the past, retrieve the Infinity Stones before Thanos can get them, and then return to the present. The plan is audacious, fraught with peril, but he has designed a functional time travel device, a system that can pinpoint specific moments. The key, he reveals, are Hank Pym's Pym particles, essential for shrinking and growing. They only have a limited supply, making every journey, every mistake incredibly costly. This isn't theoretical anymore. It's a tangible, albeit terrifying, blueprint for reversing the greatest catastrophe in history. The stakes are impossibly high, but the possibility, however slim, is now real. They now have a chance to bring everyone back. With a plan in place, the team begins to assemble. Bruce Banner, now permanently merged with his Hulk persona, a gentle giant with the intellect of Banner and the strength of Hulk, joins them. He's learned to control his rage, becoming a true force for good. They need more Pym particles, so they set out to find their original creator. Tony and Nebula work on refining the time travel suits and navigation. Rocket Raccoon and Bruce volunteer to recruit Thor from New Asgard, hoping to snap him out of his depression. The journey itself is a desperate sprint, fueled by the dwindling hope of a world that has given up. Each member carries their own burden of grief and guilt, but the shared purpose, the audacious plan, begins to forge them back into a cohesive unit. This is their last chance, their only hope. They are ready to risk it all.